Okay, hi guys, this is Monique. I'm going to take you through my IEP and I'm going to talk to you about my student's needs, the goals I created, the services he gets, and the accommodations and modifications that we made in this IEP. So, the first thing would be student needs. And I didn't put any academic needs because my student is at grade level in reading, writing, and math. My student actually really enjoys math. The need for my student would be social emotional. My student needs multiple prompts to start an assignment. So, the purpose for this IEP is to get him to start an assignment without having multiple prompts more than the entire class gets. The idea is that if he needs to be told to start his assignment 5 or 6 times, he gets less time to do that assignment, and that may push him back, even though he might not be academically in need now. Doesn't mean that he can't be. So, which leads me to our goal. So our goal is when given verbal instructions to begin an assignment, John will begin his assignment with no verbal prompts 8 out of 10 times by the end of his annual IEP. When I say no verbal prompts, I mean, if I say, okay, class, get out a pencil and a piece of paper, he needs no extra prompts to do that. I don't have to say, John, what did I just say? Ask a classmate. You need to be getting out a pencil and a piece of paper. So we're setting this goal for him so it doesn't affect his grades right now, which are okay. He's testing at grade level. The one service that I did give for him was kind of a check-in with a mentor. So I gave him a mentor. He's on a check-in and check-out system, which means he needs to check in and check out with his teacher in every class that he goes to. He has a check-in and check-out sheet, and something I didn't mention in his IEP goal was that he is also going to be taking data on himself. So he'll have a data monitoring chart on his desk. And if I ask him to start an assignment 3 times, he would mark that. And I would also be marking that at the same time. So when we talk about his services, he's checking in with that mentor once a week. It would be Miss A. He would do that on Fridays during homeroom just for 15 minutes, just to go over his progress with Chico and his progress with self-monitoring and being told to start an assignment more than one time. So his need is socio-emotional. He starts assignments only after being told 15 times. His goal is to not be told at all, just to be told as many times as the entire class was told to start an assignment, and he'll complete that by self-monitoring. His services is I assigned him a mentor, which is another teacher, to check in on Fridays to kind of go over those goals, make sure they're still relevant, make sure that he's working on them and improving so he's able to meet his goal. And lastly, we'll go over his accommodations. So I did say that he would be allowed repeated instructions. Um, I would limit this to 1 or 2, and maybe I should have put that in my accommodations. Um, so he would be given extra instructions when he needs it, but this can't be excessive, and that would be a revision of something I would do in my next IEP. He's allowed to test in small areas because John is easily distracted. So any test that he takes, he's allowed to go into a separate space, a smaller space with less kids to test for that less distracted environment. And as for my last accommodation, he'll be also allowed preferential seating. Um, this could be closer to the board, closer to me, or in the back where he's either less distracting or less distracted. And he can sit in the front of the room if he needs to hear me better when I am giving instructions. So overall, I think this IEP process, writing the process was good. It allows us to kind of go through that with someone right next to us telling us what we need and what we don't need and getting critiqued on how we're writing things. I know that my PWN was probably the hardest thing that I had to write just because it seemed like a lot of repeating myself, But I did like how we had to have resources for the parents. I think even if parents don't ask for resources, I still think it's a good idea to give them those resources. So thank you.